Good
those
afternoon,
guns?
officer. I'm here for quarterly qualification at the range.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. IDs can
Officer,
be faked.
my credentials are in my right front pocket. May I retrieve them?
Huh, okay, sure. A lot of people carry fake badges
I do
online.
not consent to any search. Please contact ATF
I don't
dispatch.
care about ATF or whatever.
Richmond Public Gun Range, Virginia. Special Agent Marcus Williams, 15-year veteran of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, was conducting his quarterly firearms qualification. Federal badge gleaming, duty weapon secured, just another routine Tuesday. In 47 minutes, this decorated federal agent would be in handcuffs. The charge, impersonating an officer. The reality, he was the officer, and he was investigating the very police department about to arrest him. What Officer Derek Hutchins didn't know when he approached that suspicious black man with multiple firearms. Special Agent Williams had a 47-page corruption case file on him sitting in a federal evidence locker. $26 million, one officer's badge gone, a career destroyed, an entire department exposed. The bodycam captured every illegal second, and what it revealed would shock a nation. Marcus Williams didn't stumble into federal law enforcement, he earned it. Bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Howard University, magna cum laude, master's in forensic science from George Washington University. Graduated top 5% of his ATF Academy class, an institution with a 38% failure rate. 15 years with ATF. Starting as a field agent in Baltimore's most violent districts, Williams built a reputation investigators dream of: meticulous, constitutional, unbreakable. The numbers tell the story. 47 federal convictions for illegal firearms trafficking, 12 interstate gun smuggling operations dismantled, over 2,300 illegal weapons recovered valued at $4.8 million, weapons that would have ended up in the hands of gangs, cartels, domestic abusers. He wasn't just an agent, he was a specialist. Firearms identification expert, certified expert witness in 38 federal trials, instructor at the ATF National Academy teaching one critical subject, constitutional policing. By 2022, Williams had reached GS-13 federal pay grade special agent rank. He supervised 8 agents, managed a $2.3 million operational budget, and served on the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division Advisory Committee. His current assignment: FBI ATF Joint Task Force investigating Richmond Police Department for pattern and practice civil rights violations. ATF Assistant Director Jennifer Morrison said it best. Marcus Williams represents the gold standard of federal law enforcement, meticulous, constitutional, and absolutely unimpeachable in his integrity. Beyond the badge, father of 2 daughters, ages 8 and 11, volunteer youth firearms safety instructor, deacon at First Baptist Church, married 14 years to Michelle Williams, a pediatric nurse, a man who dedicated his life to protecting communities from gun violence. Special Agent Williams arrived at Richmond Public Gun Range for his quarterly firearms qualification, a federal mandate requiring all ATF agents to maintain 85% accuracy scores with duty weapons. His Glock 22.40 caliber needed certification. The stakes were higher than routine. Qualification expired in 72 hours. Without certification, Williams couldn't carry his federal firearm, couldn't execute search warrants, couldn't continue his active corruption investigation into Richmond Police Department. The investigation that had Officer Derek Hutchins' name all over it. Hutchins, 8-year Richmond PD veteran, badge number 2847, Patrol Division, 2 formal complaints in the past 14 months, aggressive detention tactics, and failure to verify credentials during traffic stops. Both complaints were under review by the very task force Williams was assigned to. A 911 call came in. Suspicious black male with multiple firearms in vehicle at the gun range parking lot. Hutchins responded. What Hutchins saw from his patrol car: a black man in civilian clothes loading a firearms case from an unmarked SUV. What reality was: A federal agent in plain clothes, standard protocol for undercover investigators, accessing duty weapons for mandatory qualification. Little did Officer Hutchins know, the man he was about to handcuff had a 47-page case file on him, sitting in a federal evidence locker 3 miles away. Officer Hutchins approaches, hand resting on his holstered weapon. "Hey, don't move. What are you doing with all those guns? You got a permit for those." Special Agent Williams turns calm, hands visible. "Good afternoon, officer. I'm Special Agent Marcus Williams, ATF. I'm here for quarterly qualification. My credentials are in my right front pocket. May I retrieve them?" Hutchins nods. Williams slowly extracts his federal badge wallet. Gold ATF Eagle badge catches the sunlight. He holds it open at chest level. 8 full seconds. The body cam captures everything in crystal clarity. Federal credential card. Photo, badge number, expiration 2024, holographic federal seal. Unmistakable. Hutchins barely glances at it. "Yeah, I don't know what that is. IDs can be faked. A lot of people carry fake badges. Put your hands on the vehicle." The Fourth Amendment violation begins here. Detention without reasonable articulable suspicion. Carrying firearms at a gun range is lawful activity. Federal credentials presented eliminate any legitimate suspicion. Williams doesn't flinch. "Officer, I've identified myself as federal law enforcement. Those are duty weapons. I'm happy to have my supervisor confirm my identity." A backup officer arrives. Hutchins mutters just loud enough for the bodycam microphone, "Probably stolen badge. These guys buy them online." Despite Williams' professional attire, collared shirt, khakis, visible federal credential lanyard around his neck, Hutchins treats him like a common criminal. No radio check with dispatch, no call to ATF field office, no request for supervisor verification. Just assumption, just bias, just a catastrophic mistake in progress. Hutchins points at Williams' SUV. "Open the car. I need to see what else you got in there." A warrantless search demand, no probable cause, no consent. Fourth Amendment violation. The Constitution is explicit. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. In simple terms, police cannot search your vehicle without your permission, a warrant, or probable cause of a crime. Carrying legal firearms to a gun range is not probable cause. It's the entire purpose of a gun range. What Officer Hutchins should have done: radio check with ATF field office, 2-minute verification call, accept federal credentials at face value per interagency courtesy protocols, request his supervisor if uncertain. Williams holds firm. "Officer, I do not consent to any search. Under federal law, I'm entitled to interagency professional courtesy. My firearms are secured and lawful. Please contact ATF dispatch." Hutchins steps closer, aggressive posture, voice rising. "I don't care about ATF, FBI, CIA, or whatever alphabet soup you're claiming. Right now, you're in NY City and you're gonna do what I say." Second violation: obstruction of federal officer, unlawful interference with a federal agent performing official duties. Georgetown law professor David Cole would later testify. The moment Officer Hutchins detained a credentialed federal agent, he violated not only constitutional law but federal criminal statutes protecting federal officers from interference. This wasn't ignorance. This was willful. Williams remains calm, controlled. "Officer, I am not resisting. I am simply asserting my rights and my federal authority. This is being recorded and I will be filing a complaint." Hutchins grabs Williams' left arm, spins him violently against the vehicle hood, kicks his feet apart into search position. Williams' hands remain at his sides throughout. No sudden movements, no resistance. "I am not resisting. My hands are visible. I am not resisting." He says it 3 times. The bodycam records all 3. Violation: assault and battery. Irony: the statute includes assault on law enforcement officer. Williams is law enforcement. Federal violation: Assault on a federal officer. The range safety officer, John Martinez, pulls out his phone, starts filming. His timestamp matches the body cam perfectly. Independent evidence of Williams' complete non-resistance. Metal handcuffs snap around Williams' wrists, double-locked, too tight. These are too tight, causing circulation loss. Williams states it 3 times. Hutchins ignores him 3 times. False imprisonment, unlawful arrest without probable cause, civil rights violation, no crime committed, federal immunity violated. Williams invokes his final rights. Officer, I am invoking my right to remain silent. I am requesting your supervisor immediately. I am a federal agent and this arrest is unlawful. Your body cam is recording evidence of multiple federal crimes. Hutchins leans close. His voice drips with contempt. Federal agent my ass. You're going to jail for impersonating an officer. Real cops don't look like you. The most damning 9 words of his career. Preserved forever on government-issued digital video. 3 miles away. Williams' ATF team was executing a time-sensitive federal search warrant on a straw gun buyer suspected of supplying weapons to a violent gang. The warrant expires in 116 minutes. Federal law requires the supervising agent, Marcus Williams, present to maintain chain of custody on seized evidence. Inside the suspect's residence, 47 illegally trafficked firearms, Glock pistols with filed serial numbers, AR-15 rifles, 2 cases of hollow-point ammunition, street value $83,000, potential body count incalculable. Without Williams present to document the seizure, every weapon becomes inadmissible in federal court. 18. Months of surveillance, wiretaps, confidential informant work, collapsing in real time. Williams' phone sits in an evidence bag on Hutchins' patrol car hood. The screen lights up repeatedly. 12 missed calls, 15 text messages. One text visible on the lock screen captured clearly on bodycam footage. Urgent, we need you now. Warrant clock ticking. Suspect moving boxes. 6 ATF agents in tactical gear stand outside the suspect's home, frozen, unable to proceed without supervisory authorization. Inside, the suspect potentially destroying evidence, or escaping through a back exit, or calling his network to move inventory. Range Safety Officer John Martinez approaches Hutchins. Officer, I know this man. He's here every quarter. He's ATF. I've seen his badge dozens of times. You need to let him go. Martinez pleads. Officer, please, check his credentials with your dispatcher. He's telling the truth. This is a huge mistake. People are waiting for him. Hutchins turns on Martinez, aggressive. Sir, step back or you're going to jail too. I don't care if he's the president. He's under arrest and that's final. For the first time, Williams shows visible anguish. His voice cracks slightly. Officer, you are jeopardizing a federal investigation. People could die because of illegal guns we're trying to get off the street right now. Hutchins walks away, leaves Williams handcuffed against the vehicle, starts writing his arrest report. A second patrol car arrives. Richmond Police Captain Robert Chin steps out. The range officer had called the 911 supervisor line. Desperate. You need to send a captain to the gun range immediately. Your officer just arrested a federal agent. Captain Chen approaches Hutchins, sees Williams in handcuffs. His face goes pale. Hutchins, what the hell are you doing? That's not a suspect. That's Special Agent Marcus Williams, ATF. Hutchins freezes. Sir, he had firearms and he. Chen cuts him off, volume rising. He's the lead investigator on the federal probe into our department. The color drains from Hutchins' face. His hands start trembling as he reaches for the handcuff keys. He didn't. Chen continues, each word a hammer blow. He's a decorated federal agent with 15 years of service. He qualifies at this range every quarter, and you're in his case file, HUTCHINS. The final revelation lands like a grenade. Your complaint number 2022-087, unlawful detention of a black motorist. He's been building a federal case against you. Hutchins fumbles with the handcuff key. His hands shake so badly he drops it once. Williams stands silently, expressionless, rubbing his wrists when freed. Captain Chen's voice softens. Agent Williams, I apologize on behalf of. Williams cuts him off. Cold, professional, zero emotion. Captain Chen, thank you. Officer Hutchins, your body cam has recorded multiple federal violations. Expect contact from the FBI. I have a warrant to execute. Hutchins tries desperately. Agent Williams, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean. Williams' response is ice. Save it for your attorney. He retrieves his weapon case, walks to the range entrance, completes his qualification shoot, 98% accuracy despite the trauma, then drives directly to the ATF field office to file a federal complaint. Joint Investigation, FBI Civil Rights Division, ATF Internal Affairs, Department of Justice Office of Professional Responsibility. 87 days. The evidence collected was overwhelming. Hutchins' bodycam footage, 27 minutes total. Backup officer bodycam. Range Safety Officer John Martinez's cell phone video, 4 minutes of independent verification. 911 dispatch audio recordings. ATF federal warrant records with timestamps proving the urgency Williams described. Williams' phone call logs showing 12 missed calls during detention. Witness statements from 6 ATF agents and 3 civilian range witnesses. The federal grand jury indicted Hutchins on 9 criminal counts. The civil rights lawsuit documented 14 constitutional violations. 5 violations stood above the rest. Violation 1. Deprivation of rights under color of law. Federal criminal statute for violating constitutional rights while acting as law enforcement. Bodycam shows Hutchins detaining Williams without reasonable suspicion, despite valid federal credentials clearly presented. Quote captured on camera, I don't care about ATF. Violation 2. Obstruction of federal officer. Interfering with a federal agent performing official duties. Bodycam shows handcuffs applied, physically preventing Williams from executing a time-sensitive federal warrant with a ticking expiration clock. Quote, you're going to jail. Violation 3. False arrest and imprisonment. Civil rights violation for arrest without probable cause. No crime committed. Possession of firearms at a licensed gun range is lawful activity. Federal credentials presented eliminate any reasonable suspicion, quote, federal agent my ass. Violation 4. Assault on federal officer. Physical contact with federal agent. Bodycam captures visible use of force, grabbing arm, spinning Williams against vehicle, against a completely non-resisting individual. Williams states 3 times on camera, I am not resisting. Violation 5. Failure to verify credentials. Department policy requires interagency credential verification via dispatcher before detaining federal or state officers. Hutchins never called dispatch. Williams provided his supervisor's direct phone number and badge number. Quote from Range Officer Martinez, I told him to verify. He refused. Former federal prosecutor Preet Bharara reviewed the evidence. This isn't a mistake. This is criminal intent. Officer Hutchins had multiple opportunities to de-escalate and verify. He chose ego over law. That's not negligence. That's malice. 24 hours after the arrest. Officer Derek Hutchins suspended without pay pending investigation. Badge number 2847 surrendered. Service weapon confiscated. FBI agents arrested Hutchins at his home. Federal charges filed. The indictment was devastating. Count 1. Deprivation of rights under color of law, maximum 10 years federal prison. Count 2. Obstruction of federal officer, maximum 8 years. Count 3. Assault on federal officer, maximum 8 years. Count 4. False imprisonment, maximum 5 years. Count 5. Official misconduct, maximum 12 months. Federal trial. The jury deliberated 4 hours, guilty on 4 of 5 counts, acquitted only on the state misconduct charge, a technicality. Sentencing day. 6 years federal prison, counts run concurrent, plus 2 years supervised release, mandatory civil rights training upon release. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. But prison was just the beginning of Hutchins' destruction. Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services revoked his law enforcement certification permanently. No reinstatement possible, ever. Pension forfeited. 8 years of contributions, $127,000 gone. Banned from law enforcement in all 50 states. Interstate Peace Officer Certification Database flags his name permanently. Unemployable in any security industry due to felony conviction. His personal life collapsed in parallel. Wife filed for divorce, citing public humiliation and financial ruin in court documents. Hutchins filed for bankruptcy. Legal fees exceeded $340,000. His 2 adult children publicly disavowed his actions on social media. Family photographs deleted. Relationships severed. Richmond Police Department paid the price institutionally. Civil lawsuit settlement. $26 million paid to Special Agent Marcus Williams, one of the largest individual police misconduct settlements in Virginia history. Legal defense costs, $4.7 million. Federal consent decree compliance costs, $12 million for mandated reforms. Insurance premium increases, $3.8 million annually. Liability insurance companies classified Richmond PD as high risk. Total financial damage, $46.5 million. Leadership purge followed. Police Chief Donald Morrison, forced retirement. 28 years of service ended in disgrace. Captain Robert Chen, demoted to lieutenant, transferred to administrative duty reviewing parking citations. Training Coordinator Lieutenant Sarah Peck, fired outright for failure to implement proper interagency protocols. Other officers involved faced consequences too. Backup Officer James Rivera received a 30-day suspension without pay and mandatory retraining. Shift Supervisor Sergeant Michael Torres, who failed to respond to the scene despite being 2 blocks away, received a written reprimand and was passed over for promotion. Federal consent decree mandated sweeping changes. Mandatory credential verification protocol. All badges and IDs presented must be radio verified with issuing agency before any detention proceeds. Interagency courtesy policy. Federal, state, and local law enforcement professionals receive professional courtesy pending verification, no exceptions. Bodycam review protocol. All use of force incidents reviewed within 24 hours by Civilian Oversight Board with subpoena power. Bias training expansion. 40 hours annual implicit bias and constitutional policing training, up from 8 hours previously. Federal officer recognition training. Officers trained to identify federal credentials from ATF, FBI, DEA, U.S. Marshals Service, Secret Service. Early warning system. Automated tracking flags officers with multiple complaints. Hutchins had 2 prior complaints that went unaddressed. Supervisor response mandate. Supervisors must respond to scene within 10 minutes when any citizen requests one. Technology upgrades followed. Real-time badge verification system with database integration. FBI, ATF, DEA badge registries accessible in 30 seconds. Bodycam footage automatically uploads to cloud backup, preventing tampering. Mobile warrant portal allows officers to verify active federal warrants via in-car tablets. Training curriculum overhauled. Constitutional law instruction increased from 12 hours to 60 hours in Police Academy. New case study module added featuring the Williams incident as a catastrophic failure example. De-escalation training now includes federal law enforcement role-play scenarios. Oversight expanded dramatically. Civilian Review Board granted independent investigative authority and subpoena power. Federal Monitor appointed for 5-year consent decree compliance period. Quarterly public reporting of all use of force incidents and complaint statistics now mandatory. The Williams case created legal precedent nationwide. Williams v. Richmond PD cited in 14 subsequent civil rights cases across 7 states. 3 wrongful convictions overturned where Hutchins was the arresting officer. His credibility destroyed. $4.2 million in additional compensation paid to other victims. Virginia State Assembly passed the Federal Officer Protection Act, criminalizes detention of credentialed federal agents without verification. Other states considering similar legislation. Congressional hearing held. House Judiciary Committee. Subject: Interagency Law Enforcement Protocols and Preventing Similar Incidents. National media coverage. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News aired 47 combined segments. ACLU and NAACP jointly awarded Williams the Civil Rights Defender Award. FBI National Academy now features this case study in training curriculum. Special Agent Marcus Williams promoted to Assistant Special Agent in Charge, ATF Washington Field Division. He published an op-ed in the Washington Post, "Why Bodycams Saved My Career and Should Be Mandatory Everywhere." Keynote speaker at the DOJ National Conference on Police Accountability. Founded a nonprofit, Badge Accountability Project, provides free legal aid to victims of law enforcement misconduct. Already assisted 43 cases in its first year. This could happen to anyone. Marcus Williams had 15 years of federal law enforcement experience, a badge, credentials, constitutional expertise, and it still happened to him. If it can happen to a decorated ATF agent, it can happen to you. 3 lessons from this case. 1. Know your rights. You have the right to remain silent, refuse warrantless searches, and request a supervisor. Say it clearly, say it calmly, say it on camera. 2. Demand credential verification. If you present ID or professional credentials, officers are legally required to verify them. Insist on radio verification. Say, "Please verify my credentials with dispatch." 3. Bodycams are your evidence. Williams won because everything was recorded. When stopped, announce, "I do not consent to searches. I am not resisting. I want this interaction recorded." What you can do right now: educate yourself and share this story. Demand bodycam transparency from your city council. Know your state's recording laws and use your phone. Vote for candidates prioritizing police accountability and constitutional training. Was 6 years in prison enough for Officer Hutchins? Or should he have received the maximum 10 years? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you believe in justice, constitutional rights, and holding power accountable, subscribe to Bodycam Truth Files. We expose what bodycams capture and mainstream media ignores. Hit that notification bell because the next case could be your story. Marcus Williams fought back with the law, evidence, and courage. You can too. Know your rights. Demand accountability. Justice isn't given, it's fought for, one bodycam video at a time.